You know what time it is. 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 Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys, well, about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith once again. They're in the headlines. Why? Because Jada Pinkett Smith said it's hard to maintain a healthy sex life, and it's going around the internet at the moment about their particular situation. So, is there any truth to what they're saying? Is there something valuable we can take from this particular article of what Jada Pinkett Smith had a conversation with Gwen Paltrow on her Red Table Talk? Well, we can see. There's a little bit we can take from it. I mean, I've read it and I said, there's some truth to it. I'm not going to hate on it. I think there's some good stuff we can take from it. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. All right, cool. Let's get this article up then. Okay, let's get article. I'm going to be in the corner here. And so we've got here, Jada Pinkett Smith explains why it's uncomfortable and hard to maintain a healthy sex life with Will Smith. Okay. I mean, these guys are always in the limelight because of some wild stuff. They know how to sell a book. They know how to sell a film. They know how to sell something when they need to. But there's some real conversations here that need to be spoken about. Okay. Let's hear it. Jada Pinkett Smith explained why maintaining a healthy sex life with husband Will Smith is difficult. In a recent appearance on Red Table Talk with guest Gwyneth Paltrow, Pinkett Smith came clean about the realities of her sex life. It's hard, Pinkett Smith said of her physical relationship with Smith. The thing Will and I talk about a lot is the journey, she said. We start in this at the very young age, 22 years old. That's why our accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know what you need, especially when it comes to sex. And so the couple in 1997 had two children, Jada and Willow. As an insider, Olivia Singh has previously reported both Smith and Pinkett Smith have been vocal about their relationship, how it's evolved, and why they don't refer to each other as married anymore. Last month, Will Smith told GQ that couple weren't monogamous, saying that Jada never believed in conventional marriage. During her discussion with Paltrow, Jada Pinkett Smith said, it's like, well, if you fall in love with me, you should know. If you love me, you should read my mind. That's a huge pitfall. Someone doesn't read your mind, we feel crushed, Paltrow chimed in. Where do we get that from? All right, it says, you tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same. I really try, Smith added. It's uncomfortable, but it's deeply healthy, she said. And I think around sex because it's something that we don't talk about. And there's so much fantasy around it. All right, cool. So, I mean, to be honest, nothing too crazy in that article. What I would say about this situation is, I think looking at Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship, we've gone from they don't want to be called married to they're not in a monogamous relationship to people are cheating out here to people are able to go out and move mad to now, obviously, we've got the situation where we're discussing about how hard to maintain a sexual life is. Now, let's keep it 100 in a buck. In relationships, keeping a healthy sex life is difficult. Listen, if you've been in a relationship even for 2 years, you know that, fam, after a while, you need to switch it up. And this is why even in my mind, I'm really deep in it myself. Then I have to switch from sex to, I hate the term making love, but I think it's about exploration, right? And trying to achieve oneness with that person in the sexual intimacy phase. Because we're talking about intimacy, physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, financial, then sexual. And all the word intimacy means is that I see you. You know what I mean? I'm looking into you. So how does that play into sex? Well, I mean, I'm sure some women on here could tell you straight they've had some sex where the person wasn't even looking at them. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about the fact that they just use them as a body. Right? That is what we're talking about, robbing yourself of the intimacy in sex. It's an exploration. It is a journey, as Jada Pinkett Smith put there. It is something that you do together. You learn each other and you have to communicate. But many of us have been taught from a very young age very little about sex. And so we explore it from our own perspective. And then it becomes a very self-serving service, right? It's like, I need to get mine. Not we are trying to explore. It means I got to get mine. right? And sometimes we carry those same ethos and thought patterns into a relationship that sex is really just for me. And and thus both parties really suffer because both are being robbed. You're being robbed if you're taking, because you're not actually getting a full experience of how sex is meant to unify and bring us together. Sex is worship. You know what I mean? On a spiritual sense, sex is worship. And so therefore, when two are being united, there's something beautiful, there's something spiritual, something deep, there's something mysterious about that unification between man and woman in sex. And you rob yourself of exploring that further and deeper, of creating that bonds together by using sex as a vehicle and tool to get yours. Right. And so this is why the communication needs to happen in sex. And that's why I agree with what Jada was saying, that it is a journey. It is, you have to communicate. You can't be reading each other's minds. You have to actually talk. Right. I'll be honest with you. Obviously, I've been bad. I've not been always good. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most, I'll be honest with you, one of the most intimate, most enjoyable times of sex is actually in a relationship where we actually communicated about what we liked and what we didn't like and what we wanted. And, we're able to communicate without fear in the moment about, hey, do this here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be real with you, real spit. You know what I'm saying? So, sex is not just for you. It is for the other person. That's why the Bible says your body's not yours. In 1 Corinthians 7, your body's not yours. Your body's, your husband's body is wife's, and the wife's body is his husband's. Treat it as such. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat it as some ragdoll and then you want to get your leg over. Treat it as it's a valuable, expensive commodity that you want to take good care of. And that it's the same principle said to us that we should treat our neighbor as we treat your neighbor as you treat yourself. And the same thing applies to when it says the body is not, when it says your wife's body is not hers, it's yours. And your body, your husband, is not yours, it's your wife's. Meaning treat each other as you would treat yourselves. Serve one another. Putting each other first. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wanted to have that little conversation. I'm not going to say too much. I think enough has been said in that article. But, yeah, Jada and Will Smith, again, once more, rocking it out for couples out here. Do you know what I mean? So, appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see some more things. Comment down below your thoughts.